So again, kind of strange, kind of odd how some folks are having predictions, but are they really predictions if they're actually planning on these things to happen? So we've already been down this road before. We've had a pandemic, obviously, no question about that. But now, L pandemic?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
We had an L pandemic. I don't. Okay. Yeah. And now we are potentially preparing for another one. Oddly enough, let me just ask you a question. What would be the best way to mitigate the damage of a pandemic, of the next pandemic, of a virus, so to speak?
To mitigate it, to make sure they've already got you prepped for it?
To maximize your chance of survival.
I don't really think they would care about maximizing our survival. That's the problem.
How does that maximize your own survival?
Because you're hoping that it.
You can't maximize survival on hope. Hope's not a plan.
So within, I mean, that's what anybody is. That's what it comes down to for anybody who is in.
If there were to be some form of new pandemic, some form of new catastrophic wipeout that's going to affect so many people around the world, how would you yourself protect yourself and maximize your own survival if you knew that this was happening, if you knew it was coming?
Go out and get the things I would need to ensure that I could survive.
That's the best way?
To not be in the areas that are going to be an issue?
That's probably closer to it. So again, kind of strange, kind of odd how some folks are having predictions, but are they really predictions if they're actually planning on these things to happen? In my opinion, these are rather bold predictions. But let's just think about it from a simple standpoint of survival. Detect, contain, and defeat. Ultimately, stimulating an immunity. And I'm talking about losing money and maximizing profits, as Walmart CEO Doug McMillon has already detected the problem, which is theft and crime and loss, increased loss, potentially driven by a particular demographic, income bracket, perhaps maybe even age group.
Because generally speaking, like when I talk about all the sensors in Walmart and how they've made it so that if you go into the makeup section, the nails and stuff like that, it's like a little small trap-in area. There's one entrance, one exit. They have alarms on everything. And the general consensus is, hey, there's the lady, it's because it's the young kids that are stealing these things. It's not the 50-year-old woman going in there and stealing fake eyelashes. It's the 13-year-old and 14-year-old doing it.
It's funny because they're probably actually stealing it for
the 50-year-old.
two of the same reasons. They're probably stealing them for TikTok. They're not only stealing them for TikTok because they are using them in their TikTok videos to make themselves up to look a certain way for these videos, as TikTok is terrible. It's terrible. But also using it for TikTok because they want to they want it for clout. They want to be the one that is causing a scene inside these stores for TikTok.
I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by the truck in front of us.
While TikTok continues to be such a devastation to this entire country, really, all provoked by China, which is kind of strange, kind of odd. But either way, CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon, he's trying to maximize the company's survival and ultimately his own survival of this illness, which is lower income, potentially more than likely a majority of people of color, depending on where these stores are closing. More announcements being made here recently with even more stores closing. I think now Chicago's on the list. And this is actually happening a whole lot faster than I had originally anticipated it happening. But Doug McMillon had predicted that if these crimes and thefts didn't stop, stores were going to close and prices were going to go up. Meanwhile, is it really a prediction if he already planned on it?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because these stores are closing pretty quickly and the prices are going up, and you can attest to that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, detect. He's detected the problem. Now they're moving on to the containment. And that containment is by closing stores, and they're going to contain themselves in specific areas and specific markets that are producing the most revenue, the most profit, the least amount of loss. And they're going to be continuously pulling out of these lower income, poorer communities that they too have perpetuated in the cycle of wiping out these people by eliminating any other possible job that could have been there as they swallowed up mom and pops when they showed up.
So with Walmart, you can tell that they want to move to a higher end design, storefront, interior, clientele, all of it, because of the stores they do have. They've already started up in New Jersey, and one in upstate New York, I think, where they are moving to a very, very large AI footprint inside the stores. They're also putting in clothing areas that look like something you'd see at Target or inside, Macy's or Belk or Dillard's at the mall. Like, they are trying to bring themselves into the upscale market, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen personally. I'm never going to look at Walmart and go, upscale, because I know Walmart for what it is.
Walmart may not necessarily move to upscale, but they're definitely going to move to higher prices because they can.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they're the only kid on the block. They'll control the supply and the demand and the price.
Which is why I said that this merge that Kroger's trying to do, where they're trying to buy Albertsons, is a very, very good deal. Everybody else is worried about it. If you have a Kroger brand store here and an Albertson brand store across the street, and Kroger buys Albertsons, which one of them closes? And my thought process is neither of them. They just have more firepower behind both of those stores to be able to keep them going, keep them people employed, keep the shelves stocked and whatever else, and take more money away from Walmart.
Well, they could try, but think about Walmart. Think about the whole shortage situation.
Walmart didn't have one, really.
But we did see instances where they did have some empty shelves from time to time.
Where they did not have stock on shelves, yes.
Yes. And what percentage of the shelving would you say was empty?
0.01.
No, like isolated in those areas, like specifically, not the entire store.
Oh, canned goods and pasta, generally speaking. The stuff that you could stockpile and hold on to because they had a longer shelf life.
What percentage of those areas were short?
You mean between like how much pasta was there, like 25% was missing kind of thing? Okay, I would say 50%.
50%, okay. Yeah. So let's look at it this way. If Walmart experienced a 50% shortage in certain food staples during the height of this supply crisis, right? What if Walmart had 50% less stores?
Then in theory, they should have more stuff on the shelves to begin with.
Right. So they wouldn't experience the shortage situations, and Walmart is executing on that to reduce the amount of stores that they have to fill to no longer put themselves in a situation of a perceived shortage.
Which then puts them at the top of the game, where if you're going to Kroger and there's a perceived shortage, you know that you can go to Walmart every time and not have that issue. You're just going to bypass Kroger and go straight to Walmart.
Regardless, I do believe that either way, you're going to find yourself in a situation with food costing more.
Oh, yeah.
The future of food, folks. But here's the other thing. We're moving on to defeat and ultimately creating an immunity. So that is keeping people out. That is pretty much isolating yourself. The good versus the bad. It's basically you're drawing a line.
Mm-hmm.
And this is being done with online shopping and e-commerce. That's how they defeat it, because they've detected the problem, they've contained the problem, but they still haven't defeated it yet. And the best way to do that is to make sure that it can't happen. So Walmart's going to move to a point of which they're going to know who you are before you ever show up. You're going to need an appointment to shop at Walmart. Not something as crazy, you know, as being injected or having to get a jab to go shop at Walmart. But I've called it before. Walmart doesn't want people in the stores because it's a liability, it's a risk, and it costs them money to have the employees to manage the people in the stores. Do you know that Walmart already has stores that are pickup only?
No, I wasn't aware.
They have stores that are pickup only.
I didn't see this before. I didn't know.
You have to order online and then you pick it up. You cannot walk inside.
So this makes me think of that game Red Rover. Remember when you're little, you have two lines and you link hands and you go Red Rover, send whatever right over. And I picture Walmart stores all linked together. Red Rover, send the consumer right over. And the consumer goes running and just slams right into it because you can't get in. The only way you can, Red Rover, send your DoorDash guy right over. Okay, send your Spark guy right over. Okay, they can get in. But the regular consumer, you're going to hit that wall and nothing.
If this social credit score, if your social credit score, if you don't meet the requirements, which is going to be crazy, talk about upscale. If you don't meet Walmart's requirements, they're not going to let you in. You're going to have to order online. You're going to have to use the app. And I also read that I need to bring you guys an update on this information, is that Amazon is making a huge change to their online grocery shopping order process by making it now 4 times more expensive to get free shipping.
Okay, I believe that. So really quick, back onto the Walmart social credit score. Here's the problem with that. The social credit score that they want for the people to go shop in their stores, they don't shop at Walmart. They're shopping at Whole Foods, Sprouts, Publix, whatever else. So they're going to work themselves out of a clientele.
Maybe not. But what it does mean to me is that they're working themselves into a position to wipe out the lower class, working class poor, because those who typically do still won't be allowed in the Walmarts.
Okay.
Y'all better pay attention, folks.